Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4. We're going to be using the Honda CBR1000RR FIREBLADE. Of course I did a video on this just a few days ago, and we are here in the magnificent Brands Hatch for the Carnage! Oh my goodness, I forgot about that Carnage already. But basically this is the British Superbikes Cup in career mode in Ride 4, and hence the reason I chose the Honda. Big fan of the CBR, of course, as we all know, as you've seen in Snetterton just a few days ago. So a pretty bad start here in one of my favourite tracks. Not concerned, because 7 laps to catch up to the rest of the riders is a bit of a piece of cake, especially in a track as wonderful as this track. I'm obviously extremely confident on this track, as you know. Bloody brilliant track, and this CBR has one heck of an acceleration. Like, I'm going to go round the outside here into the Hawthorne bend. Not quite able to get it to just stick. Well, we still make the move anyway, as he makes a lunge as we were forced to lift it up there. So Rupert Gray ahead. He's behind the South African in 6th place, Juan Lewis. Not a bad start, I guess you could say, considering the chaos that ensued just before us. But as we make another move up the inside of Rupert Gray, oh, contact made! Serves him right for trying to stop me in my tracks. Slamming the door shut in one's face does not perturb the DrAce. But we do blast past Juan Lewis. South African didn't even have a chance to say anything in that matter, as we now use the rumble strip on the approach to turn 2. The wonderful Druids. As the Portuguese rider, I was going to attempt to pronounce that name, but I'm not confident enough to pronounce that. Michaela? No idea how to pronounce that second one. Marcel? I don't know. Any Portuguese supporters, I do apologise for butchering that pronunciation. So of course, with the Portuguese rider about to lose 5th place, because we are very strong in the braking zone here. Looks like she was trying to go around the inside there, get a bit of a cutback. But into the Hawthorne bend, we are very strong. Kate Stewart, next on our list, has already been beaten into the Westfield bend. And we are closing in on the podium positions already in just the 2nd lap of this 7-lap Grand Prix. Peter O'Donnell ahead. Can't see what bike he's on currently from where I'm sitting, but it doesn't matter because we are going to be in receipt of his position very, very soon. So of course, just doing the career mode in Ride 4 at the minute. This is the British Superbikes Cup, as I've mentioned. I was eager to try this one out because, of course, I think you'll be able to say it with me at this point and ad-lib it. The fact that I love British tracks, so it was a no-brainer for me to do it on. I think I'm going to have to start widening one's horizons and potentially going to different tracks. But with, obviously, Ride 4, there's not really that many tracks. The track selection is fantastic, there's some great tracks, but it somewhat lacks a bit of tracks. I mean, we are missing some brilliant tracks that we could be taking advantage of, but unfortunately we have what we have as we cut the corner, well, cut the grass again in the exit of that corner. I'm actually rocking the brand new DrAce helmet as well, so around the outside in the Hawthorne bend, that was bloody beautiful. And I think we're going to go for the Brazilian as well. Ooh, not quite. Very brave from the Brazilian there. Very impressed, actually, of not being allowed to be bullied into that corner. She still holds strong, holding the lead. A bit 8 tenths of a second quicker than our previous lap, which was, of course, the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Tyres are taking a bit of a hammering already. 43% on the rear. Of course, my obvious combination of the medium front and soft rear. It's a combination I always tend to use. Always the harder front, of course. As Carlos, I think I called her in a minute ago, didn't I? I think it's him, considering his name is Carlos. Can we go over the inside in Druids? We cannot. We will try a wider line. Quick check to the right just to make sure Tinus isn't close enough to make a lunge. And he isn't. So we will continue to push and pressure Carlos. Could potentially go around the outside here. Love a good... Ooh, force to lift the bike up yet again. I must say I love a good round the outside move. You can't beat it. It's unexpected, and it's classy. Of course, you can't beat the... Oh, there's Carlos. A little bit eager there. Runs it onto the grass. I guess you could say it was a bit of an advantage, slowing him down for the corner. A 10 to 12 here in the Westfield Bend of Brands Hatch. So pleased to see Brands Hatch. And yes, the iconic penalty time that I always seem to pick up in that same corner has occurred once more. So I've got some video requests this week. One from one of my greatest supporters, Paul Hibbard. Thank you for your comment in regards to Ollerton Park. I have a plan to do some good time trials, see how quickly we can go, and maybe a couple of races on Ollerton Park. Of course, I'll be doing that this weekend, so I'm very looking forward to that, because Ollerton Park is so great. I need no recommendation to even attempt the magnificent Ollerton Park. So thank you for the suggestion. As always, if you guys have any more suggestions, any recommendations on bikes you would like me to use, tracks, or any guides you want me to try and cover, let me know in the comment section down below. Always happy to help and oblige and see what we can do. So good stuff at the minute. We are ahead by 0.5 of a second. Pretty much guaranteed a victory at this point. I don't tend to lose the lead, especially not on Brands Hatch, but especially in most of this game I tend to get to the front and just win it from there. Of course, we're speaking to Liam in the comment section regarding the difficulty and the AI on Ride 4, and it's a common issue for the most experienced players that the AI is just not tough enough. You know, we had the same issue with MotoGP for many years, and then thankfully Milestone took ownership of this and made the MotoGP 20 AI a pretty good challenge. Granted, you can still win when you start from the back of the grid, but I guess you can't always predict that talent is going to beat the AI. But I don't think the AI on Ride 4 is challenging enough. I love this game, I really do, and I will continue to make content for this game because I love it so much, and you guys do as well. And of course, all the support you give me, I'm more than happy to provide more Ride 4 content. But I do find I struggle to record some races when I disappear to the front because it's just not that interesting. It's not that interesting for me to lead the front for so long, and it's not that interesting for you guys to watch. It might be for you guys. You may be just happy to listen to my metronomic voice. Well, what did I think? I don't know if the comment's still there, but in one of my previous videos, it was the Sekiro unboxing video. There's a classic comment on there saying that I sound like a broken news weather reporter, something like that. I don't know if you guys think the same, as we make a bit of a mistake into Sterling's, but yeah, it's a comment that always makes me laugh. So if you enjoy listening to this man's broken weather reporter's voice, then you're in for a treat, because I'll keep doing the voiceovers and I'll keep doing the content. I think we're actually about, might be this upload, it might be the next upload, I don't remember, but one of the next videos is going to be 100th video in a row, and when I say that I mean it's the 100th upload in a row, as in 100 days, because of course 100 days is 100 videos, because I do one video a day. I think in some of those instances I even did 2 a day, maybe on one occasion. But yeah, I've never been more motivated to make content, and that's down to you guys. So thank you very much for your support, of course. If you haven't subscribed already, now's a great time to do so, as we're leading this Grand Prix. I'm a whopping second, and of course I've always said, once you reach that second advantage, you've pretty much nailed it. You've pretty much got it in the bag, I would say. You break the resolve of the rider behind, and you're on your way to sipping the carver on the top step of the podium in whatever Grand Prix you may be competing in. So MXGP 2020 comes out next week. I'm going to be covering that soon. I'm going to be doing the review. I don't think I'll be doing as many guides on it, but if it's possible and you guys want to see guides, let me know. I'm very excited to try the new MXGP game. I'm a big fan of MXGP. Not as much as MotoGP. I don't think my knowledge is as good as we come across the line now, victorious once more in Brands Hatch. So, piece of cake in Brands Hatch. Here we go now in Cadwell. What a fantastic track, what a terrible start. Now, the last time we attempted this track was on board the KTM 3090 or 390. I've got graphics cards in the mind, it seems. 3090. That was the 390, which is a fantastic bike. But we are using the Honda this time, of course, the CBR1000RR FIREBLADE SP race modification bike as we rocket past Kate Stewart there, and we will brake very heavily and very late as we attempt to go around the outside. So that's patented DrAce now, isn't it? There's contact as well. Oh my god, he's gone down. I didn't touch him, I swear. He went down on his own accord there. It's not my fault. But we are up to 5th place already. What a magnificent start for Dr. Ace. We've got to be pleased with that one as we attempt to go up the inside of Gunther Kutschler, which we do pretty nicely so far. The AI is quite slow in that corner as we now have Victor Yepes, classic rival of Dr. Ace at this point, as we all seem to get away. Oh, bit of a wheelie there, but we seem to get away pretty nicely from turn 12 as we now approach the Hall bends, turn 13, 14, 15 and 16 respectively. For the hairpin, turn 17, pretty nicely so far, and turn 18, the barn corner. A little bit too late there, we were too wide, we lost a lot of exit speed, and as you can see the gap to Victor went up to 5/10. But we will be closing in on the Spaniard. Charles Cooper leads this Grand Prix by about 1.6 seconds away from us, but honestly, I'm not bothered about the gap. We know where I'll be at the end of this race, of course we do. I'm just going to use the power of the Honda, the confidence on the brakes, slowly bring it in. There's no need to absolutely rag the bike at this point of the race. Bit of a wheelie coming out the corner, not for style points, just a little bit inexperience on the front end, I would say, in that corner. As we attempt a move up on Victor Yepes on the gooseneck, potentially, but not. And now it's an attempt in Mansfield to close in on Yepes. Can we go for a lunge here? We do. Beautifully done. Turn 9, 3rd place. It's turn 10, the left-hander. And as we flick it right then for turn 12. Beautifully done so far. Up the mountain. Ooh, we were getting close to the Kawasaki. I think it's the Kawasaki, I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I recorded this, so I don't remember which bike is whom on. I don't even think it is a Kawasaki, might be totally wrong. Tell you what, we have closed in on Charles and the Italian. A little bit wide from Barn again. Gotta fix that up for next time we use Cadwell. Great track, by the way. Have I told you how much I like British tracks? I have? Oh, okay. Of course I have. I'm so biased, aren't I? Don't get me wrong, European tracks in general are really good. American tracks seem to be very good as well. To be fair, there's not many tracks I don't like. The one track I will say I'm not a fan of is actually Motegi in Japan. The twin... Oh, huge moment for the Italian. But yeah, before I interrupted myself, I was going to say the Twin Ring Motegi is probably one of my least favourite tracks. Or potentially Shanghai from China. Not a fan of that one either. But as far as other tracks go, I can't really say there's a track I just go, oh, no thank you. Probably not a fan of Interlagos, to be honest with you. Maybe not. Not sure. It's hard to say. There's not really a track I can say, oh, I don't want to do that one. I'm pretty much happy to play anything. Who's bikes, 2 wheels, I'm happy. Ooh, Charles Cooper had a moment there. It's only 17 degrees here in Cadwell. Oh, Charles Cooper's gone down! Oh, his race has ended. Devastating result for Mr. Cooper. I actually had to pull off the throttle myself there because he caught me off guard. So now we're away leading by 1.5, we were leading by 0.7 of a second. It's pretty much, let's just go for it now and see how fast we can get. I was taking my time, I was doing it pretty nicely, and of course AI messed up, which is awesome, because of course it's real. AI should mess up. You know, in MotoGP they did, like in career mode, you'd be riding and you'd be like, I need this position, and bang, your rival would go down. I love that. It's realistic. But what I did notice the other day, actually, I was trying to skip through a MotoGP 20 to get to the junior teams. And, you know, I started and I never even bothered. I just went straight back into Ride 4. But what I did find was that you would crash and someone would crash with you. Like, for example, in this instance, Marquez crashed and he was at the back of the grid. Well, only about 2 laps remaining and my bike was too damaged to continue. So I pressed retire and Marquez won the race. He was down by like 30 seconds because he was so far behind with a damaged bike. And then all those results that occurred had nothing to do with the actual race. I find the same thing happens on F1 as well, which is bloody annoying. But it is what it is. So I've never actually covered any car games on this channel, and thankfully you guys have never requested car games because I'm not a fan of cars. I don't mind Dirt Rally, I don't mind Gran Turismo Sport, I did a few videos on that. F1 is okay, I guess, don't mind, but I don't know anything about cars at all. I know a little bit about bikes, and I know a lot about MotoGP, it's obviously my passion. But as far as car games go, yeah, I might struggle, so if you want to do car games, I'm going to struggle. So into turn 4, we do run it a little bit hot, but thankfully we manage to at least stay on the bike, keep away from the grass, because that grass will be treacherous if we go off the track and start spinning the rear up on that. I want to try and avoid that as much as possible, of course. As we brake with a left-hander here for Mansfield. Love this corner. Really challenging. I think I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. I love undulation in tracks. Going up and down and left and right in bends and corners, going up in the sky and down below. I love it. Oh, but we don't like that. You know what, this is the worst place to crash, because how difficult is it to throttle safely and actually accelerate up that hill without wheeling? It was really difficult. That's why I went so slow, is why I got wide here. And you know what, I think that is a Kawasaki. I think I was right, actually. Wait, we're talking about the wrong guy. This is Victor Yepes. This is, oh my god. I'm recording this quite early in the morning, actually. It's been a long night shift, and I'm recording away. Dedication to the craft. So, Elia, and Victor are leading this Grand Prix with a very hungry and frustrated Dr. Ace after he's just binned it up in the mountain. But we will use the speed of the Honda once more as we are blasting past them all. Up on the inside of the Aprilia, lifts him up. I do like how the AI lifts up, but sometimes they do it way too often, and it's bloody annoying. But that time was cool. It sort of suited the corner. Hope you like the new helmet, by the way. I think this is the third video I've shown it. I don't remember. This is the second video I've shown it. I'm going to do some more helmets soon, I think. I always go for a Red Bull or a Monster Energy. Usually it's Monster Energy. I went wide here and, well, I felt like I'd gained too much of an advantage, so I slowed down. I was waiting for Victor Yepes to actually overtake me, so I could probably have a good scrap towards the end. But he never took advantage. He was quite happy to sit there and watch me. Maybe he felt like I was going to pull a Charles Cooper. And speaking of Charles Cooper, who's that in third place? Charles Cooper. He also crashed and will finish on the podium. And I also crashed and will be winning this Grand Prix. I mean, there's still time yet. There's another lap. But I'll be winning this, I'm pretty certain. So we flick it right for turn 2 for the 7th time and final time of asking. Up into Charles. Beautiful exit there. Could be a little bit quicker. Maybe bring on the throttle a little bit later, but it was pretty nice. You know, Cadwell's a track I've not done a time trial on. I expect to see a time trial on Cadwell very soon, I would say. I think I'm inspired to do that this weekend. Ooh, I love how... You just noticed that I was throttling a bit too much there, so the bike started to slide. And that's when you have to react as a rider. And I think this comes with experience. I don't think you can teach this. But you experience the feeling of the bike. It sounds so silly because it's a video game, but I swear that's what it's like. You genuinely feel the bites, the bumps, the judders on the bike. It's really good how Ride 4 and Milestone depict this. It's pretty good. So in that moment there, and a few times in the corners, you can generally feel like, oh, I've lost the front. You know what I mean? I'll have to touch base on that at some other point and just talk about the feeling of the actual bikes in this game, because I think it's so underrated. But that'll be for another video, because we're about to cross the line and be victorious once more in another DrAce video. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate you staying this long for the video. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. Ciao for now.